Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. You'll proudly mow the lawn, ask if anybody noticed you mowed the lawn, tell people to stay off the lawn, compare it to your neighbor's lawn, and complain about having to mow the lawn again. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance, which, of course, will go right into the lawn. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Hello, Wildcats. It's your boy Kev, just coming at you like a cool pastor on a skateboard. And just letting you know that we are a comedy and crime podcast. So even though we do cover many serious cases and true events, here is your disclaimer. We do like to crack inappropriate jokes, and we have some dark humor and all that fun stuff. So if you don't like mixing comedy and crime, then you're not going to like this show. But just want to say thank you to everyone that does stick around. Yo-ho, woohoo, stuck like glue. You and me, baby, we are stuck like glue. So alrighty, thank you all for listening. Be good, stay safe, and laugh at the dark stuff. Hashtag Wildman.
Alright, fellas, like we practiced.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Come on down. Come on down. Hanging with the brothers tonight, yeah. Come on down to the Brothers Commonplace tonight.
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Brothers Commonplace, a comedy and crime podcast where we cover monsters, murders, mysteries, and more. And today we got a pretty good one for you. But before we jump into that, I want you all to meet the Bookhouse Boys.
Ooh, I like that. What's going on, guys? This is Tim, or Hugh Jackman, as I call myself when I masturbate. But that's only when I masturbate normally. When I use a stranger, I call myself Tom Yanks.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Spence. Just got back from a Nickelback concert.
Oh, hell yeah.
But it was in Canada, and it turns out they sing the songs differently when they're in Canada. They were like, it is like you to say sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, it's all about.
So that was fun.
That is not what I thought you were going with that. You caught me.
What'd you think?
I thought it was going to be like 7 cents back or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know the exchange rate. But I do like sorry. That was good.
There's probably like a beaver or Queen Elizabeth or both on the coin.
Hey, everybody, it's Toof. Just got back watching the NBA playoffs with my relatives while we were picking each other's nose candy out of our noses.
Yeah.
So I guess you can call me Boogie Cousins.
Boogie!
Hell yes.
And it's your boy Kev, a.k.a. The Dirty Dog. And just want to give a shout out to Alyssa Milano for having that no sex pact, because the brothers here, we all also are following a no sex pact. I mean, ours doesn't have anything to do with like women's rights or abortion. Ours is mostly just because we were born into it and like based on our looks and the way we speak. And this podcast surely hasn't helped any of us get any trim.
Not at all.
But yeah, thanks.
Yeah, just throw that out there. The fact that we also don't get laid, I still would not have sex with Alyssa Milano, though. So just throwing that out there.
You know what, Alyssa? We were there for you when you were in Blink-182's Eminem's video.
Yeah,
Dickie
Fear.
Roberts.
Yeah.
And
She was in the movie Fear.
I don't even know what side she's on. What is? I really don't know anything about what she's doing.
I don't know.
Is she pro-choice or
I
pro-life?
honestly didn't know she was still alive.
She wants abortions.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Hey, since we have George W. Bush here, let's see what his thoughts on it are. Pro-life or pro-choice? How about pro-American? Well, I worked on that for a week. Seems like it wasn't worth it.
Okay.
Moving on.
I liked it.
And I'm kind of mad you brought up our sexual organs, Kevin, because you know I can't use mine ever since you made that hot pot of coffee.
Oh.
Butterfingers.
Sorry, man. I was working the shift at Mickey D's before they were paying people good money. So
Yeah.
I was there.
Before they had robots.
Before you threw all those M&Ms all over the ground.
So good.
I've still got mine. I just use it to play scary vampire music.
Fuck yeah.
You know what, though? Speaking of McDonald's, I know a lot of people like to shit on McDonald's. Like, oh, you work at McDonald's. But there's nothing wrong with that. We've all worked at food places here.
Yeah.
And there's only one job out there that I will never respect at all, and that is just being the clown in Slipknot. because apparently all you have to be is a fat guy in a clown mask and you just hit shit with a bat. So
that's it.
I will never respect that.
Let me apply really quick.
Oh shit, that's all you gotta do. Well shit, what they do, reinvent Bray Wyatt again.
Dude, I love the new shit they're doing with Bray. It's amazing.
Alrighty, all you sad window lickers, it's time to take a trip upon one of the saddest forms of transportation, the Greyhound bus.
Did you ever lick the school bus windows?
No.
Raise of hands.
You know what?
Oh,
I wrote this.
I definitely haven't.
When
Is
I
that a
wrote-
thing?
When I was researching this case, or before I did really, when I typed this up, I was like, all right, I know it's on a bus. I was like, window lickers. I remember that phrase, so I Urban Dictionary'd it, and it's just like retarded kid.
Oh, wait, shit, I didn't know my picture came up.
So let me use a thesaurus. Alrighty, all you sad Brothers Commonplace listeners. But yeah, so we will be taking a trip upon the Greyhound bus, and unfortunately, this bus ride is going to involve some extremely violent actions. That's right, today we will be discussing Vince Lee and the Greyhound Bus Incident of 2001.
You know, you just gave me an idea. It's not set up yet, listeners, but I'm going to put it in effect. I'm gonna give them like a couple of breadcrumbs in Urban Dictionary to lead them to us.
Do it.
Like it's like you look up mildly retarded, and then you it finds like it has like similar definitions, and then you follow that definition, and then you follow that one, and it leads to Brothers Commonplace somehow.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
feel like you just look up mildly retarded, that might come up.
You got to be careful that you type it incorrectly, because if you just type in mildly retarded, it just takes you. Never mind, it's gonna be a Miley Cyrus joke.
Oh, okay.
It just takes you to her YouTube account. I like Miley Cyrus though.
I like her Jolene.
Oh yeah, that's good. She can sing.
Yeah,
I like her.
cover. I guess.
As long as she doesn't show her a pussy like Hope Solo, everything's all right.
Jeremiah, she
shit.
can show her pussy if she wants.
Come on,
It's
Jeremiah.
hers. It's not yours. It's her body, her choice. Hashtag Alyssa Milano. Moving on. This case, it is a listener request, and it's a case that I never really knew a whole lot about, but after researching it, it is actually a pretty controversial one.
Yeah.
And a little disclaimer here, I guess, that when it comes to mental illnesses, we're all pretty ignorant over here when it comes to fully understanding all that, since it may be a surprise none of us here have any mental illnesses, not even Jeremiah the Tooth.
I understand it. Push them off a bridge. The ones that deserve to live float to the top.
That's... So, yeah, just a little disclaimer here, since we'll be talking about mental illnesses, and if you disagree with our stances on things in this case, then that is perfectly okay. And all of this will make a little bit more sense at the end when we're talking about it. But much like abortion, there are people on both sides, and there's usually not a whole lot of in-between thinking when it comes to some of the defense in it. It seems like everyone's on one side or the other. But it's, yeah, so it's pretty controversial, so enough rambling.
I just want to throw this out there, though. Kev can only masturbate during the song Ben Folds 5.
Yeah.
What's the song
Brick.
called? Brick. Yeah, goddamn,
Yeah.
I couldn't think of what the song was
I
called.
don't know, it just,
Yeah.
that has to be
It's-
playing.
It just turns him on.
Yeah, like you should have seen me at Homecoming when that song came on. Holy shit. First nut I ever busted. Unfortunately, it was in the Jungle Juice that my father was making.
Do you guys know? You guys know those like paddles you can put on your hands and you throw like the tennis ball and it sticks to them?
Yeah.
That's what we did with Kevin at that prom. We fucking threw him against the wall like dick first, and he just stuck to the fucking
Oh,
wall.
fuck yes.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you do to that punch?
I nutted in it.
Oh, shit. Is that why after I drank that I had to get an abortion?
Oh yeah.
All right, that's too far.
So I do have, I don't want there to be any relation between abortion and what I'm about to mention next. But special thank you to everyone that reached out to me in regards to my dad and Papa Green, because he had his, he went into the doctors over his leg, about his leg. But he has to go back in a couple weeks to find out, so.
So it was an abortion.
Oh. So let's start off by talking a little bit about our main dude here. And there's really not a super ton of information on this guy, but we have a bit. Oh, I forgot to mention our sources for this case. Our main sources are Bus 1170, the documentary.
Nice.
Also BBC, CBS, National Post, and also Toronto's The Star newspaper. So those are our main sources.
BBC, huh?
BBC One.
BBC Two.
The end of Austin Powers. Hopefully you guys know what that is. I love that
So
song.
I guess I did do some research for this episode then.
Oh,
you
big
did?
back cock.
Yeah. Some BBC, some BBW,
Hey, dude.
some Bang Bus.
Hey, leave my mom out of this, all right?
The video where Vitaly couldn't get it up.
I already said leave my mom out of this.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, shit. So, all right. So, we're going to start off talking a little bit about our main guy here, Vince Weigong Lee. That's probably not how you pronounce his middle name. Weiguang.
I feel like if anybody knew how to pronounce that, it should be you, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, we'll just call him my cousin Vince.
Okay,
my
that
cousin
works.
Vinny, I guess
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
go with.
Is that Joe Pesci?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So, Vince here, he was born in Dandong.
Hell yes,
God,
dude.
this is going to be a long
Hell yes.
fucking episode.
Wait, it better not be Daniel's dong, because that's way too big.
Dandong.
That's bigger than Texas.
Daniel's dogs.
Dandong. Dandong Liaoning. That's probably not right either. China. There we
Okay.
go. That's a
Oh,
word
well,
I
we knew
know.
that was coming.
China. Oh, we both did it. Nice. On April 30th, 1968. So we have a Chinese man here, and he would move to Canada in 2001, and then he would become a Canadian citizen in 2005, or, according to some sources, November 7th, 2006.
Wait, when did he move to Canada?
2001.
What month?
I don't know.
Suspicious.
Suspicious.
And I'm not exactly sure what year, but Wikipedia lists it as 1992, which is the year he would end up graduating from a business college. However, the wiki also has his college listed as the University of Wuhan Institute of Technology, where he would earn a Bachelor of Science degree in computers. And the wiki also states that from 1948 to 1998, Lee worked in Beijing as a computer software engineer. However, the Canadian newspaper I read about this said he never worked a job in his field, so I don't know.
Huh. Degree in computers. Seems like another Asian guy that I know.
Yeah. Well, let me see right here. Let's see. He had a
Small dick.
small dick and a no sex pact. So yes, this is in fact me. And Vince Lee, he was known to have, quote, mental problems. At least that's what those around him would say about him. To what extent, though, at the time, we're not really sure, and what all is really going on with him. In Winnipeg, Lee started working many different and random jobs. He would work fast food, he worked at Walmart, he delivered newspapers, so a lot of random stuff, even though he had like that bachelor's degree and everything.
Yeah.
You know, he was trying to tell people he had an illness and that like he was not right, but everyone just thought he was talking about his name. He just would walk up to say he would walk up to somebody and say something wrong.
Shut up, dude. No.
And someone's like, "Nice to meet you, Mr. Wong."
You are such a piece of shit, too.
Oh, man. Holy shit.
You are a piece of shit. One of those jobs that Vince would work, it was at Grant Memorial Church, and he worked there for 6 months in order to support his wife, which she was a waitress at the time, I believe. And I don't really have any more information on what that means exactly, so I apologize as far as like him working there to support her. Maybe she was in school or something, but I have no idea. But his employer at the church, Pastor Tom Castor, so that's a cool name.
Wait, that's fucking real?
Fun note here, he played a guitar, a Telecaster.
Fuck yeah.
No, I made that last part up.
Dude, he's Castor Troy.
Is his real name actually that though?
It's Pastor Castor.
Fuck yeah.
Pastor Castor Troy.
Anyways, Pastor Castor Math Blaster, he said that Lee, yes?
Obey your caster. Caster. Reading those prayers as fast as you can. I'm gonna marry a woman and a man. On your knees, I bet you'll pray. Asian guy's on his way.
Hell yeah.
Caster. Caster.
Hell yes.
Anyways, Pastor Castor, he said that Lee seemed to be happy to have the job and that he was committed to doing it well despite the language barrier with the other congregation members. Regardless, he did not show any signs of anger issues or any other trouble before he quit in the spring of 2005.
Uh-oh, seems like he might show some later.
And then in 2006, Lee, he would leave his wife alone in Winnipeg with plans of her to join him later. and he moved to Edmonton where he started working at Walmart. So I think he just moved away. I really don't fully understand. I don't know if I would say saving up money, but she's a waitress. He's at Walmart.
I mean, you're not
she's
saving.
Probably making more.
Yeah, so you're not saving that much. I heard like, oh my god, this is so fucking stupid. I heard like right before he left, like he just looked over at her and he's just like, man, I'm so done with this shit. And he just gets up, packs his shit, and looks over at her. He's like, I'm Lee Veen. That's how I left my mom.
And he seemed to be a pretty lonely guy too. He didn't have too many friends, and even though he did end up getting married sometime, he would get divorced in 2006. And his ex-wife, she would say that Lee, he would sometimes be gone for long periods of time, and he would randomly take these unexplained bus trips, and he would also go on long scattered ramblings. So it was apparent that something was off about him, but I don't believe he ever actually got diagnosed with anything. He might have. As far as I could tell, though, I don't think he ever was yet.
Yeah.
But those around him said that he was never violent, but he did have some strange behavior, and he wasn't really able to participate in social conversations. One example is that he would just blurt out words that had nothing to do with the conversation.
Like Tourette's, kind of? Or
Well, speaking of, Tim asked me how the game was. Pussy! That's how I imagine it went.
Loud noises!
I love Lamp.
Wait a minute.
Do you actually love Lamp?
I like to make werewolf movies.
My name is Travis. I am the Moon Star.
My name is Travis. I like beer. It's good for you.
Fuck, now I have to edit in an audio clip of Travis.
I mean,
just do it later because it's probably going to be on my Patreon thing.
Well, we could just... You want to just do it live? Andrew,
yes.
Come out here with the sword.
We'll do it live.
I'm sorry,
We'll
Tim.
do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
My name is Travis. I am the Moon Star.
Dude, this has nothing to do with anything, but this guy at work, okay, I went into work and went into the bathroom, and it's just like a one-person bathroom, and it was like a bigger dude, and I went in there, like as soon as I was about to go in there, he came out, and I opened the door. In the toilet was just big fucking loaf of a turd.
Oh, hell yeah.
Huge turd.
Hell yeah.
Half green, half brown.
Fuck yes. Best one.
It wasn't flushed.
Wait, his name was Brown?
Get that out.
It wasn't flushed, and there was no toilet paper in the toilet.
Oh my god, he didn't fucking wipe after.
Fucking wipe.
Oh fuck yeah,
what it is
dude.
like?
Hell yes.
So alrighty, let's back up a couple of years from that. Sometime between 2003 and 2004, Lee, he was hospitalized after he was picked up by Ontario Provincial Police, and they found him walking along a highway, and the police picked him up, and they just thought he was like walking, maybe lost or something. But then years later, his psychiatrist, Stanley Yaren, he would tell the story about how Lee told him that he was, quote, following the sun for God.
It'd be funny if it was he wasn't even walking west. He's walking south.
That was good.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we'll talk about his psychiatrist, Stanley Yaren, a little bit later. So it definitely sounds like Lee needed some help. And even though we mentioned that he was briefly hospitalized, I don't think he ever actually received or seeked out any medical attention. And also, according to the documentary, they say it was possible he might have been diagnosed with schizophrenia, but it was never treated.
Oh, shit.
Which only some sources claim he was actually diagnosed with it. So I don't know if he was actually diagnosed with it yet or not.
Man, I don't know how to put it. It's just because he had too many friends. It's like schizophrenia. Like I'm a friendia. That's it.
I'm a friendia.
Yeah, that's it. That's all.
And they do a lot of skits together.
There we go. There we go.
So 4 weeks before July 2008, Lee would end up getting fired from Walmart because of a, quote, disagreement with his fellow employees. Whatever that means, we don't know exactly.
He probably tried to do his job, and the other people at Walmart were like, we don't do that
What the
here.
fuck? No, they're like, actually, Lee, we don't really need the greeters anymore. But it also didn't help his case that shortly before his incident, he asked his boss at Walmart, he's like, hey, could I have some time off so I could go to Winnipeg for a job interview?
Oh,
so
hell
that
yes.
didn't really help either.
Nice.
I thought he was fired because every time someone asked him where something was and he didn't know, he thought he shamed his entire family and tried to commit Sudoku in front of the whole store.
Not what it's called.
Sudoku.
That's a You,
It's a game.
you racist asshole, too.
Yeah, well.
That is clearly not what it's called.
He takes a giant marker and pushes up against his chest and then starts drawing out those fucking numbers.
So already the main events, here we go. July 28th at around midnight, so leading into the 29th. This is in 2008, by the way. Around midnight or so, Lee, he gets on a Greyhound bus that was heading for Winnipeg. And Lee, he was getting on the bus in Edmonton. So going from Edmonton to Winnipeg is his plan.
Wait,
Is Edmonton where the Chris Benoit stuff happened?
I thought that was Atlanta, Georgia. I thought he moved.
Maybe is he?
It could have been either or.
No, I think it was in Georgia. Is he from Edmonton?
Yeah, he's Canadian, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's what it was. I just was thinking of Benoit when I heard Edmonton.
If he's going to Winnipeg, is he going to that job interview?
Maybe?
Maybe?
I don't think that was his plan. Maybe.
Little known fact.
Yes.
Winnipeg was named after an alternate timeline where there was a much better finale for the Wonder Years that went a lot better for Kevin Arnold.
Oh my God!
I need to
yes.
watch that series again. I haven't seen
It's a
it
great
in a
show.
long time.
I mean, it's not, but it is. It's a great show.
So this bus trip, according to Google, is 1,305 kilometers or 810 miles. And that following day at 6 p.m., the 29th of July, Lee, he decides to get off the bus in Erickson, Manitoba. Not to be confused with Eric's very small band geek son that would constantly get picked on, but that was Eric's son, man in tuba.
Okay.
Hell yes, dude.
Don't fucking laugh at that. Jesus.
Eric Ligon, tuba. Is it Eric Ligon? Yeah.
No, that's Ed Ligon, tuba.
Ed Ligon, tuba.
Yeah, this is...
I mean, we also did just quote fucking new guy, though, so
That is
come on.
true. So he gets off the bus, and he has 3 pieces of luggage with him as well. And he decides that, the bench outside next to the grocery store, that would be a pretty good place to rest. And the reason that he stopped and waited here, though, was because he had a voice in his head that told him to stay in Erickson. And the voice, he believed, was God. So he believed God was telling him that he needed to get off the bus and stay in Erickson. But that's all the voice was telling him to do, so he didn't really know what to do after that.
I thought the voice would tell him to RKO people.
I have voices in my head. And according to one witness, at around 3 a.m., he was just sitting on a bench upright, like just straight up with his eyes wide open.
That's fucking creepy.
So pretty much how Major Payne sleeps is the way this guy is sitting on the fucking bench.
Nice.
So at 3 a.m., that's creepy as shit.
Dude, Major Payne reading that story to that kid in bed.
Yeah, dude, the fucking gun noises and shit.
Yeah.
It's bad that I actually do like that movie.
Oh, I love that movie, dude.
It's not a good movie, but I like it.
Bam Bam Bigelow gets... If you're Bam Bam Bigelow, why do you take this role? Just to get your ass beat by one of the Wayans?
Yeah, I don't know. You are Bam Bam Bigelow, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
They should have had him cartwheeling. I don't think he cartwheels in it.
Yeah, that's
They should have had him cartwheeled and get kicked in the throat or something.
that's Damon Wayans, right? Right?
Wait, the guy who starred in it?
Yeah, which
Major
one
Payne.
is-
That's Damon, I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
so.
Yeah.
So the following morning, July 30th, before boarding another Greyhound bus, Lee, he sells his laptop computer for $60 to a 15-year-old boy.
Would you have sold it for that, Kevin?
No, I would not have. But
Okay.
here's what happens, though. I watched an interview with the kid, and he said that Lee had taped a piece of paper to the front of his laptop that said, "For sale, $600. And then he just set the laptop down on the ground trying to sell it. And this kid walked by, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to buy this laptop?" And the kid's like, "I only have $60. He's like, "All right, I'll sell it for that."
Hell yeah.
So good fucking deal. This kid knows
Yeah.
how to swindle.
Nice. The kid later on lost his eyesight, and somebody sold him a bird without a head.
Billy and 4C. I will say the detectives eventually do take this laptop from him, but I believe they bought him a new one.
Oh, okay.
What? They do? That's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since he didn't know what to do now, Lee, he was unsure if the voice in his head wanted him to continue staying put or to go now. And so the voice, it was quiet at the moment. So he's like, well, I got to do something. He decided to make a quick decision, and he got on the next bus. And then just a little after 6 p.m. this day, Lee, he boards the Greyhound bus 1170, heading to Winnipeg. So he's back on track to go to Winnipeg.
I almost think it's kind of funny. He's like, I get it. You want to stretch your legs and stuff. But I think it's funny that he got off the bus to take a rest on a chair where he was just sitting for probably like 10 hours.
Yeah, well, the voice told him to, he thought God told him to get off the bus.
Did the voice also tell him to fucking get ripped off on a laptop?
Oh, shit. It'd be creepy as fuck to hear voices because I don't understand how that would feel.
Yeah.
Like that would fucking suck.
Yeah, it would. Like I listened to a podcast on this case where the 4 people in it all that were discussing it all had mental illnesses. Like,
whoa.
And I think they all had some sort of mental things going on.
Yeah.
I don't fully understand it.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting to hear their take on it compared to like Sword and Scale. They covered this case a long time ago, and if you know anything about that guy, he's not really well liked by anyone because he's a dickhead. Pretty much.
Is that the D&D guy?
Sword and Scale.
Yeah,
no,
sounds
the guy
so much like
there.
a D&D podcast.
Yeah. But he's like, when he's talking about this, he's like, this guy heard the voice of God. He's pretty much a fucking psychopath. Sitting next to you, anyone could be a psycho ready to kill you. He doesn't really say it like that, but I mean,
you were just sounding. You were sounding like fucking Queens, the Wildman from Queens.
Yo,
for a
this
second.
fucking schmuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some Wildman from Queens audio later. I haven't listened to any.
We
yet,
need to have that every podcast.
All right, so where were we? Okay, so Lee, he gets on the bus, and the bus has 38 people aboard. That's including him and also a passenger by the name of Tim McLean. I think it's McLean.
John's son.
So you remember when we first met Tim McLean?
Yeah, Argyle picked him up from the plane.
Hell yes.
Dude. Alrighty. And just a little bit about Timothy McLean before we get any further. He's a 22-year-old man that is described as, quote, bubbly and well-loved, and also known as a bit of a ladies' man.
And also bombed Oklahoma. Oh, that's Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, close.
McVeigh. But also...
I think you're referring to his dick.
I used that as an opening one time when I'm in Chipotle's bathroom. They call me Timothy McVeigh.
Oh, my God, yes.
So I did see in one of the pictures of Timothy that he does have a tattoo of Marvin the Martian. And from some of the videos of him, he seems like a really nice and likable dude. Like, he just seems really upbeat and just seems like a cool dude. He kind of looks like Buddy a little bit in some pictures.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, then I kind of just going to have to have you take back that ladies' man.
And no offense to this guy or Buddy, but I did just mention that he looked like Buddy. The very next sentence I'm going to read is, he was a worker at a fair in Alberta.
So he's a carny.
So
Okay, makes sense
very
now.
Buddy-like.
Yeah.
He was taking the bus home to Manitoba, and he first got this carnival/fair job just on a whim, like just for something to do. Someone's like, hey, we're going to work at this fair. Do you want to help? And he's like, yeah, sure, because he likes traveling and just hanging out with people. So it was actually something he said he had a lot of fun doing. Like, he would just meet people, talk to people, then just party at night.
Wait, we're talking about the Asian guy, right?
No, this is Timothy McLean.
And who is he again?
He's the guy on the
passenger
bus.
Oh, cool.
22-year-old on the bus. So he's on the bus, headed back home to Manitoba. And even though his friends offered to pay for a plane ticket for him, because it's like 800 some miles, they're like, we'll buy a plane ticket for you so you can fly. He said no because he enjoyed riding the bus, because he liked meeting people and hearing their stories and just being around people.
He also likes sneaking in the Greyhound bathroom and smelling their shit stains.
Yes.
Wait, so the two few were on this bus. Nice.
So alrighty, back to bus 1170. So Tim McLean, he's sitting in the back of the bus. I think he's 1 or 2 rows in front of the bathroom, so in the very back. And at around 6:55 p.m., the bus stops at Erickson, Manitoba, and picks up some passengers, one of them being Vince Lee. So this is when Lee gets on the bus as well. And we didn't mention his appearance yet, but Lee, he is 40 years old, and he has short hair / shaved head. He's also wearing sunglasses, which the sun's not even up right now. Many would later claim that he was over 6 feet tall, weighing in at more than 200 pounds, but he's 5'8", and he has a stocky build.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know if he just appears that
Between
menacing.
5'8" and 6, that's a lot.
Yeah. So Lee, he gets on the bus, and he sits at the very front of the bus, and he's just sitting quietly, and he's staring off into space.
That bus? Oh, shit. Wrong number. I thought the bus was one more lower, because I was like me and that girl from Stranger Things having sex. Oh, wait, that was 1169.
Jesus Christ. What are you, Drake?
Canada.
And then at the next scheduled rest stop, Lee, he moves to the back of the bus, and he sits next to McLean. And McLean was leaned against the window sleeping. He opened his eyes. I think he just barely acknowledged that Lee had sat down next to him. I think he might have waved to him or said hello to him. And then he just continued to sleep with his head against the window and his headphones on his ears. And this next part sounds super fucking creepy, but one of the civilians that was on the bus said that Lee, from the front of the bus all the way to the back, he walked super slow, and he just stared down every person one at a time as he walked to the back. It's like he just like fucking scanned like the Terminator.
Dude, that would be fucking pretty creepy. Like,
he's wearing the fucking shades too.
I'm not trying to say this in like a super racist way or anything, but like a big Asian dude, like that'd be creepy just because I'm like, dude, he knows like kung fu or something. He's gonna kick my ass. And like I really don't mean that like racist, but that's what I would think.
Yeah, he's got the shades on. It's fucking late at night. The sun's not even up, and he just fucking scans every row and like walks back and sits next to this dude.
I'd be thinking like Jet Li, the Man type shit. Like, yeah, fuck that. That's what that movie was called, right? The Man.
The Man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called The Man, where they like did like there's like two of them or whatever.
The one.
That was it. That was it.
Okay.
And according to Lee's psychiatrist Yaren, Lee would later on say that he heard a voice in his head that he once again believed that voice was God, and that voice was warning him and ordering him like what he should do next. And then also one more thing, according to psychiatrist Yaren, the reason that Lee said he chose that seat was because while he walked toward the back of the bus, McClane acknowledged him and said hello or like, hey, how you doing? So because he was like just being friendly and shit, that's how Lee chose this spot. And one of the riders on the bus sitting in the row across from Lee and McClane said that he couldn't stop watching Lee because of all the weird shit that he was doing, such as Lee had a 2-liter of sweet tea and a roll of toilet paper that he wouldn't let go of. And whenever he would take a drink of the 2-liter, he would take the roll of toilet paper, he would put it sideways under his chin and hold it there, and then lift the 2-liter up and drink from it.
So like the toilet paper was a cushion?
And also at one point, he started rocking back and forth and chanting something that wasn't in English. So the bus is pitch black. There's no lights on at all except for the TV that is showing the movie The Mask of Zorro. I've never seen The Mask of Zorro.
It's not very good. I didn't really.
I've never seen it.
I mean, do you like that movie?
I know the Z he does with the sword. Like he like doesn't he do that to like girls' clothes so their tits hang out or something.
Yeah, he does that to Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah,
I mean,
Zeta,
Zeta-Jones. But no, I'm just nostalgic, really, for that movie.
Next, after McClane fell back asleep, Lee pulls out a large knife, and he begins to stab the sleeping McClane in the neck and chest. The man in the row across from Lee yelled out, "Stop the bus, someone is being stabbed," and then a 26-year-old man named Garnett Caton in the row in front of Lee and McClane said that he heard, quote, a blood-curdling scream, saying, "I turned around and the guy sitting right behind me was standing up and stabbing another guy with a big Rambo knife, right in the throat repeatedly." Garnett also said that the attacker seemed oblivious to others when the stabbing occurred, adding he was struck by how calm the man was. There was no rage or anything. He was like a robot stabbing the guy. So he really just went like full fucking Terminator.
Yeah.
Like he's got the shades on, he scans everyone, and then he goes fucking berserk, stabbing this dude with no emotion and just a robot rhythm to it.
Wait, did he have a trench coat on like the Matrix too?
No, I don't know what he was wearing.
He almost reminds me of the JP guy. I want to sit on your face.
Grandma's boy.
Yeah.
And according to witness reports, McClane tried to fight back, but since he was already being stabbed in the throat, like even before he woke up, he had no chance. And because of him trying to struggle and fight back, though, this did allow people to get off the bus. So Lee is stabbing the hell out of him. McClane is trying to get away, and he jumps over and tries to get past him, which I don't know how you fucking do that after getting stabbed in the neck and throat and shit.
Hashtag Wildman.
So hashtag Wildman on him. He tries to jump over him, the seats, and get away, but he can't, and he ends up down on the ground under, like right in the middle aisle, and Lee just continues to stab him. And according to a witness, he stabbed him like 50 to 60 more times.
Jesus.
I know it's easy to say, like, when you're not in this situation, but, like, no one can maybe, like, try to stop him. It's like one guy and a knife.
There's so many of you. Like, whoop his ass.
We do have a note here. The guy that was in the aisle across from Lee, the one that's watching this whole thing unfold, he gets a lot of shit online from people, mostly because in the documentary, this is what he says, quote, "The moment I saw him turn with the knife, I stood up and ran to the front of the bus." Which, I mean, I don't blame him there.
Yeah.
Like, I would do that shit too, probably. However, his fucking wife is sitting next to him, and he just fucking books it and runs off.
Jesus.
So
hopefully you got divorced after that one, pal.
But there is a redemption arc to his character. He did help out. Like, he runs out to the front of the bus yelling to pull over and everyone get off the bus. And then he does he does run up to the front of the bus telling everyone to get off and that there's a stabbing going on back there.
My wife might be dead too. I left her.
And back to the stabbing. Lee is now killing McClane. People are trying to get off the bus, but since this is going on in the very back, the second to the back row, there are still 3 people that are trapped back there with him. A mother, her young son, and then that one guy's wife. So all 3 of them are stuck in the very back of the bus because they don't want to go past him. They don't know if he's going to fucking start chopping at them or not. And when the 3 of them are noticed, this is the time where Lee, he's on top of McClane in the middle aisle, just continuing to stab him. And then the one guy's wife, she is in the row just inches from where this is happening. So even though it was a pussy move on the part of the one guy to leave his wife, he does go back. He climbs back over the seats and he helps get the mother, the son, and his wife away. So at least he goes back and gets them out of there.
Just
and
maybe shouldn't have done what he did in the first place.
I know the fight or flee thing kicks in, but Jesus, he fucking just Usain bolted out of there, dude.
It's like, come on, at least grab your fucking wife, bro.
But yeah, so a lot of people give him shit. They call him sometimes the hippie-looking guy. He really just looks like if Shaggy from Scooby-Doo was... They were like, hey, pretend you're Edge, the wrestler Edge.
A legit hippie-looking guy, yeah.
But yeah, one of the comments is like, yeah, the hippie-looking guy, what a hero. I mean, he does go back and save him, I guess. So at this point, like, everyone is seeing this stabbing and all this shit going on. The passengers that are in this documentary that are retelling this story, they're all like in tears. Their voices are shaky. There are so many people that were on this bus that now just suffer from PTSD because of all this shit, which, I mean, how could you not? Like, this is pretty insane what all happens. And we'll get into some more details in a minute about it. So the Greyhound bus, it's pulled off on the shoulder. And a guy driving by in a pickup, he notices like this frantic, chaotic situation going on, and he sees like there's a bunch of people off the side of the road, kind of freaking out. And one of the passengers waves to him and tells him like, "Yo, there's someone that was stabbed to death on the bus." So this fucking badass, this hashtag Wildman, he gets out of his truck, he grabs a big fucking metal bar out of the bed and just walks towards the bus.
Fuck yes, dude.
Fucking Hacksaw Jim Duggan, baby.
Dude, what a badass.
And in Canada, remember when there was a storyline where Hacksaw Jim Duggan got like he was all about USA. He found out he had cancer, and so he became Canadian. Was there more to it?
Probably, I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Probably for the free healthcare.
No, that really might be part of it.
That really does.
But yeah, instead of chanting USA, he would come out with the Canadian flag.
Yeah.
So he switched to Benoit's team.
It was also WCW, so...
That is true.
Yeah.
It's now holding me back.
So this guy, he grabs the metal bar out of his truck and starts walking to the bus. And when he gets there, he sees Lee, who is staring at him with an empty, expressionless face. And the guy says that he emitted nothing, no emotion whatsoever. And he saw that Lee was kneeled down over McClane's body. And then he takes a knife and just starts cutting Tim's head off. So the pickup truck guy is standing at the front of the bus and he sees this. And I remember his quote was like, "I've never wanted to kill somebody so badly in my life," or something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
And he was going to, I think he kind of froze for a minute, or like he walked in and saw this happening. But next thing he knows is Lee is walking towards him slowly down the aisle of the bus with a knife in one hand, and then he's holding the severed head in the other. Just walking towards him. So the pickup truck guy, and I think there was one other that was with him, they're like, "Oh, fuck this." So they back out of the bus. However, they do barricade the doors in, and so Lee is trapped inside the bus.
Dude, I like that he can't, like he really just can't run or move.
Yeah, all this he does calmly, slow, and like a fucking robot.
It's like the crazier he gets, the slower he gets.
And so they barricade him inside the bus. And so they're kind of like in Halloween, is it H2O, where Michael looks out the little window? Lee pretty much does that. He walks up to the door slowly, like where the window is, and just looks out at him. And the guy said, quote, "He also gave me a very good picture of Tim McClane." So he fucking holds the head up.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
And the passengers noted that he was just walking up and down the aisle holding the head like it was some sort of prize, they said. And Catton, one of the passengers, added, "I got sick after I saw the head thing. Some people were puking, some people were crying, some people were shocked. The attacker just looked at us and dropped the head on the ground, totally calm." So that is why everyone involved has PTSD and is pretty fucked up from this.
How did they trap him in the bus? How could he not get out?
I think with the metal bars, somehow they were managed to... I don't really know for sure, but they said they barricaded him in there.
Okay. Since this guy's moving so slow, he's the complete opposite of the Keanu Reeves movie. No speed.
Oh, fuck yes. Hey, they both involved buses, so that's awesome.
When he was stabbing the guy in the neck, the guy that was sitting next to him looked over and was like, "Whoa." Yeah, that's it.
And once again, according to psychiatrist Yaron, Lee believed that, quote, "a voice from God told him Mr. McClane was a force of evil and was about to execute him. So according to Lee, he had to act quickly. And, quote, "in response to that, in a state of panic and fearful for his life, he carried out the acts that he did."
Yeah.
And he strongly believed that if he didn't completely destroy and mutilate the body, then he would still be capable of coming back to life and thus coming after him. So by this time, there was a group of RCMP, which is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. But...
Give it away now.
AKA the fucking impractical jokers show up. But they didn't make any attempt to board the bus or further prevent Lee from destroying the body of McClane even more. So Lee, he's trapped on the bus. And the strategy of the RCMP, they're like, let's just wait this one out. I'm not quite sure why that's the plan, but for 4 hours, they stood outside. They all had rifles. And they just watched Lee on the bus for 4 hours.
They're used to that strategy because of having to deal with winter in Canada every year.
They've waited a
We
while.
gotta fucking wait this shit out. So they just got on their horses and rode around the bus whipping it.
Dude, what's those
Give in!
What's those Mounties' names again? Their initials?
RCMP.
So it's Flea, Anthony Kiedis, Will Ferrell guy.
I mean, I'm not saying like go in there and shoot them or anything, but I mean tear gas, tase them, anything.
Yeah,
Go fucking get them.
I would say go in there and shoot him.
Like they're literally just watching him just cut apart and destroy this dude's body.
At least the whole time they're probably listening to "Let's Go to the Mall."
That probably, dude. Robin Sparkles. Either that or fucking Headstrong by Trapped is blasting in there.
Back off and take you on.
But yeah, so they're watching him inside the bus, and now he begins to eat part of McClane's head.
Oh, wow.
Hell yeah.
And part of his body is scattered around the bus. Some sources say in plastic bags. Some say it's just scattered in there. But part of his heart and both eyes were missing, which that is what they later believe Lee was eating because they saw him eating something. And then part of his heart and the eyes were missing. Although Lee would later claim, which he'll talk about, he doesn't remember any of this shit happening.
Yeah.
I mean, he remembers some of it. We'll talk about it. But he denies eating this. And they're like, well, there's fucking nowhere else it could be, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
We saw you eating this shit, motherfucker.
It doesn't meet our criteria, but holy shit, hashtag fucking Wildman, dude. That's fucking crazy as shit.
Yeah, for the crazy reasons.
Yeah.
And one source claimed that he tried to drive the bus away at one point, but the driver had already initiated like an emergency immobilizing system or something. I'm not sure if that's accurate or what the hell that even is, but the documentary I watched didn't say a whole lot about it. They just said that he tried to drive the bus away at some point.
Yeah.
All he really did was put a couple blocks of wood behind the tires on the outside.
Initiate emergency immobilization. Put a fucking block of wood.
The fucking the Yosemite Sam mud flaps come down.
Oh, hell yes.
And one source even said that Lee was heard on the bus, like saying to himself, like, I have to stay on the bus forever.
Oh.
Which that wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense because eventually he tries to break through a window to escape. But the RCMP would quickly taser him twice, handcuff him, and then place him on the back of the Mounties horse and then ride off.
Oh my
Or I mean, in the back of the police cruiser.
okay.
Oh.
And then lastly, when they searched him, inside of Lee's pockets, they found the victim's ears, nose, and tongue.
Wow.
Damn it! I thought it was gonna be something cool. Like they found like the last
Like a fucking hologram Charizard card or
Yeah.
something.
like the hologram Mew and shit.
Like, what is it? A Crystal Pepsi?
They found that one Yingling slammer that we all had.
I don't even pair of toe socks. Interesting.
Limited edition Sour Patch Bugles.
What the fuck is that?
Dude, there's Sour Patch fucking cereal.
Is there?
Yeah, I actually just saw that at Walmart today. Yeah,
I don't even ever want to try it.
No,
I don't know what the fuck the point of it is.
I don't know. I mean, I would try it, but
Like, it sounds like steak milk. It's pretty much right fucking there with me.
wait, milk. It's milk steak.
Yeah, milk steak.
Yeah, milk steak. She'll know what it is.
She'll know what it is.
Yeah.
So the next 24 hours, the identity of the victim, McLean, that's being withheld. And then his mother, she has no idea that this was him. She knew that he was on a bus to Winnipeg, and she had a bad feeling about it, she said. But she was thinking, like, oh, my son, he should have already been in Winnipeg like 2 days ago.
Well, she saw at the Christmas party.
Oh,
It's just Die Hard.
Die Hard. So Tim's mother, she has no idea that this was her son that was on the bus. Like, she thought that he would have been back in Winnipeg like 2 days ago, because I think that was the original plan. So she's getting ready to cook Thursday dinner at the senior home. And since this bus event was a popular thing going on, it's like what everyone's talking about. So during the dinner, the seniors and also his mother, they said a prayer before eating, praying for the family of the victim of the sick act and the murder on the Greyhound bus. They're like, we need to pray for this victim's family. And his mother even said at the dinner, quote, wow, that could have been my son.
Oh.
But he would have been in Winnipeg already. So holy shit, that is like super fucked up. So like they have this dinner for like at the senior home where they pray for the victim's family when it was like like it was her son and she was like the one leading this prayer. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. That's
That
really
sucks.
sad.
Yeah.
And in the documentary, his mother also said something along the lines of this, like, how could they allow this to happen? They did nothing to stop him once the RCMP got there. They allowed him to continue. He ate my son's heart and eyes, and they sat outside the bus watching for 4 hours. So, I mean, yeah, he was dead, but, I mean, you're just going to let him fucking desecrate, destroy, and mutilate the body of her son.
And somebody who did nothing wrong, but also, stop him when it's fucking happening, too, though, because it's one dude with the knife against, how many other people on the bus?
Do you guys remember Marky Mark's fucking quote? It's so not funny. It's horrible, but his quote about 9/11.
No. Holy shit, Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. Can't wait to hear it.
Oh god, it's fucking. Okay.
Wait, so who ate this Tim guy's heart? Was it the fucking Asian guy or was it the black guy from Jason Goes to Hell?
Even comes Jason.
This is what Mark Wahlberg said, which, I mean, I know you want to say something about this, but I mean, sometimes it's just better not to say anything at all because, like, all the people on the planes that fucking died. Yeah. But this is what he says. If I was on that plane with my kids, it wouldn't have went down like it did. There would have been a lot of blood in the first class cabin, and then me saying, okay, we're going to land somewhere safely. Don't worry.
Dude, it would have been, though. It would have been, though, dude. Fuck, I wouldn't fuck with Mark Wahlberg. I mean, he's a little dude, but he would fucking he was in like a gang and shit, dude.
Yeah, dude. He was fucking super racist. He beat the fuck out of that Korean guy for no reason.
Yeah, dude. Like I wouldn't fuck with Mark Wahlberg.
What's funny is someone made a joke about this quote. Let me find it, dude.
That's a lot of tough talk coming from a guy who planned it all.
Oh my god, hell yes.
Leave it up to a Boston guy to make fun of New York.
It's a lot of tough talk coming from a guy who was in Transformers movies.
So let me go ahead and reiterate just what that quote was from Marky Mark about the plane on 9/11. He said, quote, if I was on that plane with my kids, it wouldn't have went down like it did. There would have been a lot of blood in that first class cabin. And then someone on the Cumtown subreddit, which is a podcast.
Hell yes.
Normally at the bottom of the quote it says Marky Mark on about the 9/11 flight, but they put Mark Wahlberg talking about an ordinary flight from Vietnam that landed safely.
Holy shit! I heard
Why, I don't remember why did he beat the fuck out of that Vietnamese guy.
I can't remember. Is
racist?
Is any of this saying in the podcast?
Well, that whole thing is
okay. Because I heard like before the plane, because he was actually on that flight, and I heard like right before it went down, like they were playing this song, and like it was just like kind of like this happy moment. And he was finger banging this girl as it went up, It's literally just fear and finger banging her on the fucking roller coaster.
At Farmers Insurance, we know a roof can withstand a lot. One exception being an airborne car. Seen it, covered it. Click for more.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
So yeah, the poor family, poor Tim McLean. I can't even just imagine. That shit is horrible. And as far as what his mother says in regards to the type of person Tim was, quote, he has a lot of friends and they were all very upset he's gone. And they would like to say they miss him and he will always be there in his hearts. People say no one's perfect, but Tim, he was. He did nothing bad to anyone. So now we're going to talk about Vincent Lee again. He is now picked up by the police and they want to know like what the fuck just happened, why he stabbed, killed, beheaded, and ate part of somebody's head while on that bus. So one more time, I want to reiterate that Vince Lee, he was mentally ill and schizophrenic. So we don't want to offend anyone when it comes to our opinions on the outcomes of this case, because it is highly controversial. And I think we should try not to fully just take one side, maybe try to take like a neutral stance. I mean, it's going to be very fucking hard because I already know which way we're all going to
I'm on
feel.
McLean's side and I'm not even going to try to hide it.
And so I've listened, like I said, I've listened to podcasts and sources from both sides, like one saying like they need to kill him and things like that. And the other side saying like, well, I am schizophrenic and this was before he was diagnosed and before he was on medication and he didn't have any control, things like that. Yeah. So for his trial, it is a second-degree murder case.
Yeah.
And here's a quote from the Star article. Although he admitted his guilt to officers that night last July, Lee pleaded not guilty on Tuesday. His lawyers are arguing that he is not criminally responsible because he is mentally ill. And according to his psychiatrist, Mr. Lee did not understand he was killing an innocent bystander. He did not understand his actions were wrong. An agreed statement of facts read out in a Winnipeg courtroom said Lee, blood still smeared on his face from the attack, apologized to police when he was arrested and pleaded with the officers to take his life. I'm sorry, I'm guilty, please kill me. Yaron said Lee, still psychotic, and believes it's just a matter of time before God kills him. He continues to have hallucinations and hear voices, but he is now on a strong antipsychotic medication.
That all sucks for him. And you know, I'm sorry for that, but he killed a guy who everybody says was perfect, that, you know, was super nice to everybody. So I mean, obviously I feel like you have to take that guy's side. Like it sucks that, you know, he's going through that, but I mean, you killed a, you know, super just innocent dude who was just sitting on a bus.
And according to a psychiatrist, Lee is also a victim in this case. Some quotes from his coworkers about Lee. I'm still kind of shocked and surprised, to be honest with you. He just never came across as the type of person that could do something like that. He was a very nice guy. He was there every day. He did a good job. He was friendly, and really, we had no problems with this individual at all. So his trial is on March 3rd, 2009, and Vince Lee would plead not criminally responsible because of the insanity defense. This defense means that he accepts that the offense had occurred, but he claims that he was unable to form the necessary mental element, or mens rea, which is the mental element of a person's intention to commit a crime, or knowledge that one's action or lack of action would cause a crime to be committed. So he acknowledges that it was his hands that did the murder. However, it wasn't in his control, and the reason that it happened was because the voice in his head, which he thought was God, was controlling him. So this guy is schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Every time my girlfriend catches me jacking off, I'm like, it's that goddamn Mansayer again. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened. I just lost control. Don't even know what the fuck went down. Mind of Mansayer.
Oh, God. Yes.
And from NAMI.org, National Alliance on Mental Illness. Schizophrenia is a serious mental illness that interferes with a person's ability to think clearly, manage emotions, make decisions, and relate to others. It is a complex, long-term medical illness affecting about 1% of Americans. And those symptoms include hallucinations, delusions, negative symptoms, cognitive issues, and disorganized thinking.
By the way, that's 3 million people, at least. If
Yeah,
it's
that's a
actually
lot.
1%.
That's a lot. Yes, sir. So the ruling, Judge John Scurfield, I think that's his name, accepted the plea, not criminally responsible due to mental illness, And so Lee, he was not sent to prison. However, he was instead sent to the Selkirk Mental Health Center for treatment and help. And a few notes here in regards to the aftermath of this case, and this was just pulled from the wiki because I had it all organized, so I do apologize for using the wiki for this. A week after the attack, Greyhound Canada decided it was best to pull their nationwide slogan in their advertisements that said, quote, "There's a reason you've never heard of bus rage." So
Wow.
can't really use that slogan anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, a ton of people were complaining about it. Next up, PETA, those assholes, only they could manage to insert themselves into a beheading cannibal case
The
and
fuck
end
does
up
PETA have to do with this?
and end up in the worst, being the worst people in the story.
Yeah.
But they attempted to run an ad that was comparing the killing of Tim McLean to the consumption of animals.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, those fucking losers. I don't know
Holy
what the ad was
shit.
exactly, but I mean,
Are they trying to say that he was an animal?
I don't know exactly. I really don't.
Yeah. Dude, they're fucking digging their own grave.
PETA sucks.
Like, for a while they have been.
What if they showed like a person hunched down in a bus, like eating, but it's like eating a burger?
Yeah,
They really probably did.
probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them, dude.
And it just says
Fuck those
murder is
people.
murder.
Yeah. And then they've used like mayonnaise and olives to like make it look like it has eyes.
Oh my God. In his pocket, they found olives and lettuce.
How dare they?
Next, McLean's family would bring on a lawsuit for $150,000 against Greyhound, the Attorney General of Canada, and Vince Lee, which that doesn't sound like enough.
That's fucking it.
I don't know if you could. I mean, I don't know why you'd sue Greyhound for it. I mean, he had a knife on him, but I mean, I doubt they search everyone who gets on the bus.
They may now.
I don't know. I mean, I could see him
Like
suing
having,
the
like,
other stuff, but
Having like some kind of metal detector or something.
so, alrighty, here we go. This is the part that really gets people upset. And like I said, we'll try to take a neutral stance, but I really doubt that's going to happen. June 3rd, 2010, your boy's 22nd birthday. No biggie.
Mm-hmm.
June 3rd, everything happens on June 3rd in a lot of cases. So Lee, he's already been found not guilty, but he's put in a mental facility. Lee, he gets granted supervised outdoor walks within the mental facility that he's in. So he's taking his medication now because he was schizophrenic, but he was never actually diagnosed, so he was never on medication. So now he is on medication, trying to get better. The review board voted and said that with supervision, he is allowed to walk around the facility. May 30th, 2001, about a year later, the CBC reported that Lee was responding well to his psychiatric treatment and that his doctor had recommended that he receive more freedoms, phased in over several months. And this is all word for word from the wiki. May 17th, 2012, 1 year later, the National Post reported that Lee had been granted temporary passes that would allow him out of the mental health center for visits to the town of Selkirk, supervised by a nurse and a peace officer.
That was exactly 7 years ago today.
So, exactly 7 years ago today, he was allowed to visit the town of Selkirk as long as he had a nurse and a peace officer with him. And this would also be the first time that Lee would speak out about the case. One of his quotes being, "The voice told me that I was the third story of the Bible, that I was like the second coming of Jesus, and that I was to save people from a space alien attack." So,
Nice.
whatever the fuck that means.
Glad this guy lived in Canada, not LA. He would have done this a lot sooner. Double entendre because there's a lot of aliens there too.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
They decided even he wasn't bad enough to go to Selkirk Cameron.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. That would have been a
Oh,
He just has
Selkirk
to
Cameron.
watch Saving Christmas.
Yeah.
He has to sell Kirk Cameron DVDs.
Oh, my God.
Congratulations, Lee. We're going to let you out. You can actually go to the cinema now where you will continue to be the only person watching Kirk Cameron's films. So,
Dude, his sentence should have been just watching Saving Christmas.
what's the animal? Some sort of duck?
The Crocoduck.
Gee, yeah.
Kirk Cameron got on live TV and disproved evolution by saying that since evolutionists can't find a crocoduck, there is no evolution. And he had a painting of it, like a duck with a crocodile head.
Oh, well, hashtag Wildman. This
Hashtag Wildman,
This all
dude.
makes so much sense.
What more proof do you need?
Fucking checkmate, atheists.
No, he literally has actually teamed up with the banana guy.
Wait, hang on a second. Did you guys
Ray
hear
Comfort.
that? I just heard this bang. Oh, wait, it's every atheist committing suicide.
Did you also hear that other bang? It was just his giant fucking dick hit the ground.
Wait,
Did you
Banana?
also hear that other bang? It wasn't the big bang because that didn't happen.
Yeah. Wait, did you hear that just ka-ching sound? Oh, that's all the money he just made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you hear what sounded like that very dry sound? Yeah, that was just every girl in the area's panties getting super dried up because the Big Bang Theory came on just now. I fucking hate that.
Oh, so
show.
Andrew walked into town? The banana thing is this guy named Ray Comfort explained
Oh, yeah, that's his name.
that, well, it's like his changed name.
Okay, I enjoy it.
Maybe it's his real name. I don't know. He makes like these carefully edited interview videos where he proves Christianity is his version of Christianity is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bananas?
Yeah, he did this thing where he disproved evolution by pointing out how the banana fits so perfectly in the human hand.
Oh, fuck. It's
And
that thing. Okay.
How easy it is to like
shit.
open it and eat it.
That's not even what the banana originally was, though.
What about the banana? How perfectly it fits in my ass, though? Did you ever disprove that?
I mean,
He also ended his speech with, "There's always money in the banana stand."
and then after that, he's like, "There's always time for one last kiss."
I love in that episode where he's like, "Did you burn the storage unit?" Oh, most definitely.
So, alrighty, February 27th, 2014, the CBC reported that on March 6th, Lee would be allowed to have unsupervised visits to Selkirk, starting at 30 minutes and expanding to full-day trips.
Let's hope he doesn't ride buses there.
Since 2013, the bad news is you do have to.
I say since he got that privilege to go around town now, he drives this red car with a rebel flag on it, and he's known as General Lee.
It's a horn and everything.
And now Buddy follows him around.
Oh, fuck yeah, he
and he
would.
thinks it's just. Never mind. Because that guy looked like Buddy. Yeah. Never mind. It was going to be a fucking really bad joke.
There's been plenty.
Yeah. So, Lee, he is granted unsupervised visits to Selkirk starting at 30 minutes and expanding to full day trips. Since 2013, he had been allowed to have supervised visits to Lockport, Winnipeg, and nearby beaches.
Dude, okay, it's not even fucking 10 years later and this guy's out. Like, mental illnesses aside, you should be locked up for like 20 years before you even get like any type of privileges.
I mean,
it's murder.
I agree, but then that one bitch that like helped kill her little brother who like showed like no remorse for it was out in like out like I think it was less than that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she was a minor, but still.
July 17th, 2014, the Toronto Sun reported that one of the first officers on the scene, Corporal Ken Barker of the RCMP, had committed suicide. The family stated in his obituary that he was suffering from PTSD.
That sucks. A lot. Wait, the Toronto Sun?
The Toronto Sun.
Yeah. Oh, so I mean, I guess he found it because he was looking for the sun.
On February 27, 2015, CBC News reported that Lee was given unsupervised day passes to visit Winnipeg so long as he carried a functioning cellular telephone while using them. On May 8, 2015, CTV News reported that Lee would be granted passes to group homes in the community.
Wait.
I don't really know what that means.
Yeah, like is he going there to like?
He's like, hey, is it? I heard this is Twister night.
Can I come in?
There's a dinner and a movie. Yeah, that's it. They're watching Mask of Zorro, and he fucking.
Yeah, I know all about this movie.
In February 2016, it was reported that Lee had legally changed his name and was seeking to leave his group home to live independently. He won the right to live alone in February 26 upon the recommendation of the Criminal Code Review Board. On February 10th, 2017, the Manitoba Criminal Code Review Board ordered Lee be discharged. Lee was granted an absolute discharge. There will be no legal obligations or restrictions pertaining to Lee's independent living. So he is 100% free living under a new name.
What's the new name?
I know it, but I'm not going to say it. So this is a quote from the nationalpost.com. His doctors described him as a model patient who had not been treated for schizophrenia at the time of the attack. After his arrest and placement at the hospital, he responded well to medication and understood that he must continue to take it to keep his illness at bay. The victim's mother, she declined comment Friday in a Facebook post. She has been outspoken against him and against his freedom, arguing that there would be no way to ensure he would continue to take his medication, which is pretty true. So there we have it. That is the case of Vince Lee and the 2001 Greyhound bus attack. A fucked up and scary story with a pretty surprising ending, I would say. Most of the people on the scene have PTSD. Everyone's all fucked up from it. People that have opinions on this case are very strongly opinionated and against the other side of it. Yeah, it's a pretty fucked up one. Whether you think he should be murdered or shouldn't be free walking around, it's pretty controversial. I don't think there's a real right answer. I think there's strong points for both sides, but I mean, it's fucked up. I don't see how to. It's hard to say. I think I don't know. I don't understand mental illness enough, but I don't think he should just be fucking walking around and
no, not at all,
and stuff like that. But
because there's not exactly a cure for schizophrenia. I mean, like those medications will continue to help, but
they said
it's just masking it, basically.
Well, they said he's been fine for those 8 years taking them. He hasn't had any problems, but like we said, if he doesn't take them, what's going to happen? But
therapy helps more than medication does in most situations. But
I don't know if he still is I don't know if he's still checking. I'm hoping he still has to check in. Like, I don't know how often, hopefully a lot with the psychiatrist and stuff. And then I would understand. But it just, I would have no problem with him getting off this and stuff. But it just seems like it happens so quickly.
Yeah.
It happened so fucking quickly.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of that. So. And also, I feel like he should have gotten some kind of, and I know there's no way to really prosecute him for it, but the fact that the dude killed himself because of the PTSD from it, like, I feel like that should have somehow come down on him. Which, I mean, I know you can't really. Like, there's really nothing you can do. But, Jesus Christ, you got off. You're completely free for something that's causing, like, so you're causing mental illnesses to other people because of what you did. So, I don't know. That, to me, I feel like he should definitely not be free at all. What do you think, Spence?
Still not the craziest Vince I know of. One would think that when the symptoms started, he could have still been considered responsible to seek help.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's one of those cases I don't, it's no matter what you say, it's going to piss off people. I don't think there's any answer we can give. I don't think there's any answer, any opinions we can give about this that's not going to piss people off.
Yeah.
But we
piss everybody off anyway.
I wasn't going to say his name, too, but since you wanted to hear it, he changed his name to Cyberdyne System Series T800 Model 101 Terminator with living tissue over a metal endoskeleton. I do have a couple notes here. I wasn't going to bring this up. I really didn't want to bring this part up. There may be some laughs, and I don't want this to be at the victim's expense. I just want it to be out there. And just, okay, we're going to laugh, but it's not at him. It's just,
I'm not going to. I'm
Tim McLean, according to his MySpace, which his MySpace on there, his name was Joka Wild, had a picture of him painted up as Shaggy Two Dope.
Fuck yes, dude.
So, for our fallen juggalo, rest in peace at the carnival, my dude. And everyone, hold up your Fagos and just pour a little bit out for him. Save some moon mist for yourself. Yeah. That shit's good.
Only one person did that, and it wasn't even anybody here. It was legit just Andrew.
Andrew did it. Andrew, rest in peace as well.
I know.
Wait a minute. Theory time. He sat next to him on the bus. Tim is listening to ICP, and it's what song is it? I'm the Net Cutter, and I'm 1 block away. I'm the Net Cutter, and I'm 2 blocks away. What the fuck's that song called? Is it Net Cutter?
Net Cutter.
Is it that? What if he was listening to that and he heard it, and that like spurred on his psycho trauma, whatever the fuck, mental illness shit?
Maybe. So I am a little nervous to play these. John, the Wildman from Queens, I love you, brother.
Leave them all in.
I am kind of afraid to play all these. He did follow up with, I'm running into a block today, so this is the best I can do. So let's hear them. Let's see what it is. I might have to cut some out. We don't know yet, but let's just fucking play them. Here we go.
Man. Well, I guess they got a bunch of clown shoes cops in Canada. Fucking the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, they show up on scene, with a bunch of spoons to defend themselves? Well, you know what? In the army, as a military policeman, I had a fucking gun. And protocol was, if you see a motherfucker eating somebody else, you put a fucking 9mm round in his fucking head. Game over. You fucking douchebag.
All right.
Hell yes.
Fucking
dude.
well
right.
said.
Well, 1 for 1. We're going to keep that
We
one.
just make our podcast about this guy.
All right, here we go. Next one.
This should be a fucking public service announcement to pay attention to your shit and don't just have fucking headphones on and think the world is fucking full of daisies and roses because a motherfucker will chop your fucking head off and eat you quicker than you can say Chinese food.
Fuck yes, dude. Hell yes. Dude, we're
Jesus
not even
Christ.
needed anymore.
Oh,
We can just
man.
let him do this whole thing.
Oh my God.
Holy fuck. I mean, I know Canada is known for being all culturally, sensitive and, gotta respect the differences. And, their constitution has that there's like 300 different sexes or some shit like that. You could be a fucking ant up there if you wanted to. But damn, is their Vagisil really in the water? Because you can eat a motherfucker, chop his head off, mutilate the body, get away with it, and the cops won't shoot you or nothing? That's fucking crazy. You can stick that maple leaf up your ass. Since Tooth thinks it's fucking funny to call me a schmuck and use my own insult on me, I'm going to the Canadian classifieds. I'm finding this prick, and he's going to eat you and Andrew for disgracing and betraying the brothers, and it's going to be a fucking twofer. Just kidding.
Fuck yes. Hell yes.
Oh.
He's so fabulous. I love it.
Fuck, dude, I'm like tearing up. So thank you very much, Wildman from Queens. If y'all want someone to follow on Instagram, follow him. If you like funny shit and guns and cool other stuff and you want to laugh and have a good time, follow him on there, man.
Dude, we could easily
Tell him hi.
We could easily just delete the rest of the podcast and just leave that, and we'd probably get more fans.
Oh, fuck, man. I'm like sweating now.
Yeah, dude, that was good.
Anything you guys want to mention before Spence gives our closing shit?
No, I think so.
All right. Thank you all for listening. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can check us out on social media. Send us a message. Give us some feedback. If you'd like to send us an email, it's brotherscommonplace@gmail.com. Leave us a review or give us a rating. We're trying to get into the top 100.
Top 200 is our goal.
Top 200.
Real quick, though. Normally, we're floating around 1,000 or so. This week, we made it into the top 1,000, top 900, top 800, top 700. We were at like 600 and some for a little bit, and then we dropped back down like 1,000 or so. But normally, we pop in for like a day, and then we're done. But we've been sticking around for a while. I mean, we're not super high or anything, but that's cool.
And that's on Apple Podcasts, the artist formerly known as iTunes. Or feel free to leave us a rating or review on whatever service you use to consume the podcast, including we now also have a YouTube channel where we post the podcast, and I'm trying to get us to have 10,000 subscribers. So like I said before, you just got to subscribe and get 2 of your friends to subscribe and tell them that they got to get 2 of their friends to subscribe so on. You could do the same thing with the reviews, actually. But I know that most of you have already left us reviews. So all of our hardcore fans.
Absolutely.
We love you so much. If you want to go the extra mile, you can give us a donation on Patreon and become one of... We should have a name for the people who do that. Like the Wolf Pack.
For the Patreon?
Yeah.
Well, the $1 a month, I think, is just called Wildcats.
Okay.
The $5 is Wildman. And then I never made it. I was going to make another one that was just Blump Kids, but...
Those are just Andrews.
but 1 in
TBA.
5 is good. I don't know if I want to put anything higher. I mean, Wildman from Queens fucking upped his pay again. He didn't have to do that shit.
He's fucking awesome.
But thanks, brother.
Well, basically, at this point, he's on the podcast, though.
I know, dude. He's our fucking hype man, dude.
Yeah, he's the man.
Absolutely. So support us on Patreon if you'd like to, and then you get some free stickers and shit and bonus episodes. We're about to record a bonus episode here right now, and you don't get to hear it unless you support us on Patreon.
And really, all it's going to be is just Tooth rubbing his balls up against the mic. So if you don't want to hear that...
Yeah, we got some good bonus episodes. They're not always crime ones. Sometimes they're funny stuff or old classics. We did a couple crime ones. We had one about my uncle. He did a murder a couple years ago. We had one about a guy I worked with who we just found out like 2 weeks ago that he strangled a 77-year-old dude to death, and now he's in jail because he got caught with cocaine. And then the one we're recording tonight, we have some interesting things to talk about. We each are going to talk about a different person. Mine's more of a case, kind of, in a way, but it's a short one, but it's going to be pretty good. So if you want to listen to some bonus episodes, sign up for the Patreon, just $1, $5 a month. We'll send you some shit. We'll do requests. Because this episode we just did was a request. Like the next 3 or 4 are all requests as well. So we're definitely doing all that shit.
Wait a minute, Kev. That's what the Patreon episode's about? I thought you said we were going to call pizza delivery boy to show up to the door and try and get him to molest me.
What the fuck, Garrett? That's it. Send I don't know where to go with that.
I know. It sucks. Tooth just left, so he's not gonna be in the special edition of this. But
I'm going to get my thong.
Alrighty, special thanks to everyone that has already left us a review on iTunes. That really helps us out. We really want to try and make it in the charts, the top 200 in comedy. And thank you to everyone that signed up for our Patreon. That really means a lot to us. And if you ever want any more stickers, just send me an email or a message, and I'll mail them out to you. And we also, if you have any ideas for episodes, let us know. Or for bonus episodes, they don't have to be true crime. If you just want us to talk about a certain thing or whatever, yeah, we'll do it. I think that's it for me.
Yeah, we talked about a guy called Mr. Hands once.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The guy who got fucked to death by a horse.
Yeah, that's good.
There was no crime there. Or was there?
I don't know. I don't think so.
They made it a crime afterward.
No. Was that the one CJ was on?
No, CJ was on the one of the vampire episodes.
Yeah, and then the other one here.
He was on the Highgate vampire, and then the haunted amusement park.
Yeah, that was it. Going out to not just our Patreon people, but also just our listeners. So our Patreon people, and then that one other person. What do you guys think would get Andrew back on here? And we'll just show him. So just give us good ideas, and we're just gonna tell him. Because Kev Dog still works with him.
I see him every day.
Yeah, I mean he's dead, but like
sometimes I go down there and piss on his toes.
Yeah, like we believe that we can bring him back. I mean he's been dead for a while, but we believe we can bring him back. So, Kev's gonna tell him about it. So whatever you guys think could bring him back to the podcast, just let us know, and we're gonna let him know.
Hey, according to Luke Skywalker, no one's ever really gone.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
If you've seen that teaser trailer.
And since we're talking about Andrew and Dungeons, shout out to Raven, who always sends us these awesome Photoshop pictures. If you were on our Patreon, you would see them for our bonus episodes. I usually pick one of the artworks that Raven's made for us.
Yeah, she deserves all our Patreon money just for the Blumkit
she
shit.
Is amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
I had this joke I was trying to work on for an intro, but I couldn't really come up with it. It was that for my Tinder profile, I use all the Photoshop pictures that she makes of me on there, and then I get a date and I show up and I'm like all dressed nice and everything, and then my date is like, "You don't look anything like you do in your pictures." I'm like, "What? I don't look like one of the fucking puppets from Puppet Master or the guy from Wasp?"
Oh fuck yeah.
But yeah, so Raven, thank you so much. Those are so fucking good.
Her birthday wish to me was pretty awesome.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, she has to put a lot of time into those, so I really do appreciate that for sure.
Just thank you to everyone else in the Commonplace community, all the people that reach out to us and talk to us. I mean, we have like
7 fans.
There's probably like 20 that I talk to every couple days.
Yeah,
that are like super cool, that keep in touch. So just everyone that listens, though, for real, it just means a lot to us. Other podcasts that we listen to, go check them out. Killer Jobs is awesome. Nature vs. Narcissism is awesome. Dark Divide's really good. Pretty kick-ass. That's a Canadian one. So fuck yeah, that's an awesome one, too. Alrighty, too. If this case is pretty fucked up, we need to cleanse our palates. And the only thing that's going to do that is some words of wisdom.
Wow. The final pun of this thing I'm about to tell you will actually very much correlate to what you just said.
Then hit us with it, brother.
Yes.
So, Andrew has been trying to get me to join his mafia clique that he's trying to run. And I was like, why? So fucking stupid.
No, it's not, Jeremiah.
Anyway, so Andrew was like, hey, I'm in my local town. I've been, I kind of like started like a mafia clique that we've been doing. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, but we're not like a dirty mafia thing. We're actually clean. We clean up stuff. We do good for the community. And I was like, that doesn't sound like the mafia at all. Like at all. But he's like, we kind of like, we take scrub brushes and stuff, and we actually literally go clean up the city. And I was like, this sounds, what's the mafia have to do with all this? He's like, and then we rob them and take their fucking money to buy more sponges. And I was like, what the fuck, Andrew? It doesn't make any sense. I was like, what does all this mean? He's like, kiss my finger and I'll tell you. So I did. And he's, from now on, I have to call him the Dawn.
Fuck yeah, dude. That was fucking awesome, too. That was good. That was a fucking good one, Jeremiah.
Hell yes.
There's a fucking words of wisdom, Tim. I'll make sure you're on it. It's literally going to be like a fucking 4 or 5 paragraph story. And I've showed it to Kevin once, and I think he's probably hopefully forgotten about it.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's going to be so fucking funny. It's going to be great.
I can't wait.
So, alrighty. Thank you all for listening. Be good.
Stay safe.
And laugh at dark stuff.
Hashtag wild woman.
Oh.
Starting it out. All right.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag go abortions. Right? That's what everybody wants?
Hashtag wild hogs. Hog wild.
Yeah, we love that movie.
Hashtag go hard or go womb. Fuck.
What?
It's like go home, but womb, but like go hard, like the penis. I
saw where you were going.
Hashtag Alyssa Milan. No. I still don't know what side she's on. I don't know. I really don't. I need to check that. Is she pro-life or pro-choice?
She's pro-choice because she's like women's rights.
Dude, I'm pro-choice, but the fact that she's pro-choice makes me not want to be pro-choice. Honestly, I still will be, but like I don't want to be.
Hashtag pro-American. I don't remember what the exact thing was, but
Hashtag why not Alyssa Gelato?
Oh.
Because that's the type of ice cream, right?
Hashtag Blump Kids.
Well, I guess since we're talking about Alyssa Milano, might as well say hashtag George W. Bush.
Oh shit! What's that video of her like peeing on like the Jay Leno show or something?
Oh,
like I don't think that actually happened. But like,
you just dreamed it?
No. There's like there's like a GIF of her like with her puss straight out and just peeing, but it's like on like a night show. We'll look that up after.
Okay. Well, this is just for you guys. This episode is now going to be going up a day late because I have other research I need to do.
I push my fingers into my ass. It's the only thing that slowly makes me come. I remove my fingers, then insert my thumb. Jesus, please take the wheel so I can do it while I drive. We got 9 drummers in the band, and the worst is a clown guy.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. You'll proudly mow the lawn, ask if anybody noticed you mowed the lawn, tell people to stay off the lawn, compare it to your neighbor's lawn, and complain about having to mow the lawn again. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance. which, of course, will go right into the lawn. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's number 2 employee. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. This is your daily pep talk. I know it's been rough going ever since people found out about your a cappella group, Mad Harmony, but you will bounce back. I mean, you're the guy always helping people find coverage options with the Name Your Price tool. It should be you giving me the pep talk. Now get out there, hit that high note, and take Mad Harmony all the way to nationals this year! Sorry, it's pitchy.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.